Hello everyone. Today is a day I'm very excited for because we are going to be removing this front bumper finally and replacing it with this bumper. I'm super excited for this because I'm not really a fan of this. I believe it's a Rocket Bunny bumper or just the wide body kit itself. Not a fan of it. I know when it's like fully painted, it looks pretty good, but me, I'm just going for a stock body, at least right now. However, before installing this bumper, it needs some attention. And first off, there's a crack right here. This I'm not going to be addressing yet, but I am going to be addressing this little mount right here. This is how it's supposed to be looking. I'm going to see if I can like maybe bend it. I have an epoxy I can try and like, I guess just making it mold back to how it was before. And then I also kind of want to see what I can do about this little trim piece right there. And so I'm going to use this epoxy I have. Hopefully it'll work. I'm not really sure. And then once I do remove this bumper, I believe I do need to fix a little, or I guess a tab on the body that this tab connects to. So I'll look into that later. But for now, I'm going to see what I can do with this epoxy and see if I can fix that broken tab. But I guess we'll see. I have removed the little trim that was right here. It's this. It's pretty cooked, but oh well. So I removed that, and then there's a crack here. There's a crack here, and I don't know if I'm gonna do this crack. I might, but I only have one of these clips. Just went to Harbor Freight to pick this up. So I'm going to place that clip basically like right there and make it hold like that, and then I'm gonna apply. Oh wait, I guess I'm gonna spread this epoxy. And I guess I'm gonna try using this. I don't really know how that's gonna work out, but I'm gonna spread the epoxy or mix the epoxy and clamp it right here. Then, well, I guess I'm gonna spread it first in between like the cracks, and then I'll clamp it, and then probably gonna hold it for a few hours, I guess, or maybe I think the cure time's actually like 30 minutes on this, but yeah, I might do an hour just to. Well, I guess it sets in 5 minutes, but I might hold it for an hour just to be safe, but I'm gonna do that now. I've put the epoxy on. Honestly, I don't know how well this is going to hold up. I just have one clamp, kind of wish I have two, because there's like a little ledge that makes me a little uneasy about how well this will cure. But, you know, I'm okay if it just is kind of better, or just slightly better at least. You know, when I'm in there actually mounting this seems, or that tab seems pretty flexible, so I'm not too concerned about it. And then I'll probably try and repair that too, but I'm gonna let this cure for probably an hour, so see you then. It has been a couple hours, and honestly, I think I'm going to just still let this cure for a few more hours, maybe overnight. However, in the meantime, I'm going to start removing this front bumper. There's some bolts right there. I believe also some bolts connected to both of the fenders. So I'm gonna do that in the meantime, and then I will reevaluate this. Kind of wish I would have bought two of these, because I think I will need this for what the actual piece of metal or the body that this connects to. But I'm just gonna take off the bumper now and we'll see. Let's go. So the bumper's off, and that tab I was talking about that I might need to like weld or JB weld, which I do have some JB weld right there, is this right here. I don't know what happened. Don't know why it's mangled like that. I think the other side is pretty, yeah, the other side's straight. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy. kind of just looks like I can honestly just put a bolt somewhere. And hopefully that's enough, but I guess I'll look into it now. So after some further investigation, I did find these little like intake ducts, I guess, and these I believe are like brake cooling ducts, I guess, ducts. Can't really say that word. Anyways, I believe these are like brake cooling, and you know, this side, like I can kind of understand how to mount this, something like that, but like the tab, there's supposed to be a tab right there, broken. It's supposed to be a tab right there, broken. You can actually see it, it's right there. However, the right side is a little more problematic. So, you know, I have the air duct right here, and this thing I brought up earlier is like bent. If I had to guess, I assume someone probably jacked or tried jacking it up right there. Maybe, I don't really know. Like, I should try and like pull this out. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Might give the hammer a shot. Might give Old Faithful a shot. I don't know. But at the same time, I could probably find or figure out how to route this itself without the need for this. But you know, this would be nice to have at least properly on there. I did like, so this right here is supposed to be like right there, and there's like a rib nut. I don't know if you can see all that well. So there's like a nut right there with like half a stud in there. So I mean, I need to get this on that like that rivet, but like I don't know how I'm supposed to do that. There's no like screw itself or no bolt. So I believe I have to get like a rib nut or a rivet extractor, which, you know, I've been meaning to get one because I lost a bolt in the Miata's fender, but it's still okay. So I might go tomorrow to like Harbor Freight and probably get a rib nut or just an extractor set and see if I can extract it on that side, then maybe run a bolt there, like maybe see if I can bend it over there first and then see what I'm working with. I don't know, like this part doesn't seem too crucial. Like there's plenty of, you know, bolting or mounting points for the front bumper. However, like the work or this like broken little tab right here like lines up with it lines up with this side, so which, you know, isn't ideally. I wish I would have wanted the not broken clip to mount here, so I can be a little more structural, I guess. But like the non-broken clip is gonna go on this one, which is like, you know, not good. So what I'm just trying to get at is that I really hope that this holds now. You know, there's still like all these mounting points, so like it should still be fine. But you know, not ideal at all. But that's probably it for tonight. And then I guess tomorrow I'll get a rib nut extractor. And then I guess I'll try and extract this little screw down there and then try and just bolt this up, I guess, before taking a hammer. I guess that's the plan for now. So, see you tomorrow. All right, it is now the next day, and I have picked up my stud extractor tool. I think I kept saying it was like a rib nut extractor, but you know, I'm pretty new to working on like a big project like this. So that's my first time ever having to use one of these. And I'm going to try and show like what I'm actually going to be using this extractor for. There is a little stud right there. Let me get my flashlight. A little stud. There's a little stud right there that's like, I don't know, this thing. So I'm gonna try and extract that stud and then bend this little metal piece, this thing up in there, and then replace it with like a bolt or something. And then if I need to, well, hopefully that goes according to plan. And if that does, I'll then use my hammer to probably, bend it back to how it was before if I need to, or at least as close as I can. And then this has been curing for the last like basically 24 hours. So I'm gonna try and see how it goes when I unclamp this right now. So hopefully it still holds. All right, so this did kind of like cure to this, but I was able to remove it. And I mean, it's a lot better than it was before. It's obviously not straight like that, but it's at least kind of in the same proximity unlike before. So I'm hoping this can bend a little bit. I'm kind of scared that it's gonna break the second I try and bend it, but I guess we'll see. However, back to using the stud extractor now. So this didn't work at all. I'm not sure if the actual like stud or like the thing that grips onto this stud is too big for the stud that there is. Well, I'm just gonna refund it, but I have a backup plan. You know, this car will never be perfect. So remember those little like clampers I had? So they're on right now. Looking pretty solid. I bent it back a little bit, not perfect, but our good old friend JB Weld is calling my name. So the plan is I'm going to try and scuff up that little area a little bit on both sides, and then JB Weld it, and then clamp it. You know, I tried to do it the proper way with the stud, removing the stud. I was being too annoying. And I also tried like drilling it out, barely got anywhere. So JB Weld it is. And I mean, like, this part literally like will never be removed. Like, you know, on this side, like it literally will never be removed. Like, I don't, like, there's literally, it's connected to like these little like headless rivets, I guess, or studs, whatever you want to call them. And I put a little towel right here to like separate it. So, you know, I do not want to weld the fender part because, you know, this will be removed or can be removed, but this itself will never go anywhere. So, you know, I'm just gonna JB weld it, let it cure for like a whole day probably, and then come back tomorrow and hammer this to at least kind of fit that. You know, all it really needs is 2 little nuts. This might mess up the fitment. I'm not sure. If it does mess up the fitment, I probably won't even bother bolting it in right here. But if it doesn't, I'm going to. But yeah, that's the plan. JB weld it. Talk to you soon. So I have grinded or sanded some of it down. You know, I'm not aiming for perfect here, but hopefully that's enough to get it to, or enough to allow the JB weld to cure properly. So I'm just gonna start mixing, and then the next shot will probably just be the JB weld on here with a clamp, and then I'm gonna work on the other bumper, or the bumper that's going on this after I get this done, but I'm gonna weld it. All right, so I've applied the JB weld. Yeah, I'm not sure how well that's going to hold up. Kind of wish I had one more clamp to, you know, clamp both sides of this. But, you know, I guess we'll see. Apparently this stuff's supposed to be really strong. And then I also found the second part of this fender. So I kept cutting myself on this, and it really sucked. But I found this, and you know, hopefully I can just like JB weld this. We'll see, because that's really annoying. And then the other side is kind of like that as well, but not as severe. It seems like I could probably just like honestly use that clamp and bend it back and then JB weld this top part. So I'll do that. But now while I let that JB weld cure, I'm going to, I believe I have all the lights. Like I believe I have the flash to pass or like the turn signal. I'm not really sure which ones are which, but I believe all of them. I believe I have all of them, and I'm going to go through my parts and see if I do have all of them. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do now for the rest of the day because I can't do anything else. So yeah. So I got the turn signals installed. This bottom one's pretty cooked. I don't know how much you can see. Oh yeah, you can see this one's pretty cooked. I have no idea if this one will even work. But I also had, so this bumper came with this, it's called a flash to pass. And basically just the headlight, if you like put your, like the high beams on, it'll like go through those lenses. And so the bumper itself came with this one. However, it's missing this one, but I did find one in my parts. I found this. However, it's looking like that's for this side. I mean, the one that's on there is like cracked, but like the tabs on this one are also like cracked. So I'm probably just not gonna worry about that for now, honestly. And then I also found the actual like lenses itself. I believe that's the turn signals right there. And then I also found the side markers, which goes right there. And also right there. So I guess I'm just gonna put these lenses on now, and that'll be it for now. All right, I have put this little bottom bumper trim on. Not really sure what it's for. Can't really get this screw in. Oh well. This side was pretty torn up, like this trim itself, and the other side had like this. I don't really know. I think it like bent like that, and I think the idea was that like this would like go in these little studs right there. I don't know. I don't really see the point of this, especially if the other side doesn't have, so I just cut it off. And then I also got the other side marker right there. Oh, well, I don't think the adhesive's holding. Oh well, I'll probably leave it. I don't care that much about it. I do need to order a flash to pass lens anyways, but I hope that holds up pretty well. I guess we'll see tomorrow, but for now, that's it, and then I'll see how it is tomorrow. I washed the Miata today. All right, it is the next day, and I was doing some research on these flash to pass lenses. Turns out, pretty expensive. I'm talking like $200 for a pair, and it kind of sucks that I have two of the same one. But the one I have on the bumper right now is kind of cracked, the lenses. But like on this one, there's no stud, so that sucks. It's like maybe I can try like taking the lens from this one and putting it on the other one, but not worrying about it today, that's for sure. I also found out that this little side marker is like $100 for a pair. Crazy. So I ended up taking it off. I'm trying to make it look a little better, I guess, since it was like kind of broken off. So I'm just gonna let it, I'm going to let it cure for a little longer. But the plan for today is to get the bumper finally on. In order to do so, I need to put both brake ductings in. I did use some of that Gorilla glue to put the broken mount on this, on the passenger side, and that's gonna like fit kind of like in there, so at least it has one mounting point now. Other side is, I don't know where it's at. It's not on the car. I don't think so, at least. So I'm gonna put that on. And I also need to put the driver's side on. However, this might take some bending, and I don't know how the weld has held up. I'm going to take this off now to see. I'll probably still leave this clamp on while if I have to like bend this at all, just for some more reinforcement, but that will come off eventually. So I guess first things first, I'm gonna take this clamp off, see how it's looking, and see if I can fit this ducting in there. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. So I got this air duct in pretty well. It's held on. Well, I have it mounted in 3 places. One right there, you can barely see, then 2 in the back. It sounds like some will connect to the fender liner once that's plugged in. So this bent side, good boy. However, the non-bent side, not good boy. The mounting thing that I use Gorilla Glue for, broke, of course. Gorilla Glue has been letting me down, honestly. So that's literally only secured by one little bolt. Let me get a flashlight up in there. One little bolt right there. And there's a lot more. There's a lot more mounting spots, but once again, I think that'll be for the fender liner. Anyways, good enough for now. I'm not gonna worry about this other mounting point. It's been annoying. So it is now time to get the bumper on. So I almost have the bumper on. However, I still have a few more bolts to just put in, and this side as well. And I think I'm just gonna have this little gap right here, because it seems like this little trim right here, like, you know, if it was in good condition, it would just be flush with the body. And up here, it looks okay. Same on this side. Like, I wish this little trim piece was up a little more. It looks like okay-ish right there. I still have to like tighten the bolt or the nut on this side, and there's like a nut in there or bolt in there I have to put in. And I was thinking about raising these manually. Couldn't really find like the knob to do so. Also didn't look that hard, so they're probably just gonna stay down for now. And I did get this turn signal plugged in. There's a little clip right here that I clipped into. However, on the passenger side, dude, I could not find the plug to like plug the turn signal in. I fetched the turn signal itself, which is right here, but I could not find the other end of this connector. Could not. I don't know, it's probably somewhere. Not gonna worry about this now. I'll probably add a new item to the board. But I guess I'm just gonna tighten up these bolts, and that's probably just gonna be it for now. All right, boys, the bumper is now on. And honestly, I'm shocked how well it matches, because, you know, this is not the OEM paint, and it's crazy actually how well it matches. Also, the peeling clear coat matches as well. And then I also started like welding this part. It was like bent. I was going to do the other side first. However, I need one more clamp. Like, I actually need one more clamp to hold both the top and the bottom. But, time to end it on a great note. But before I do that, man, I'm happy with how it turned out. You know, passenger side turn signal, TBD. Driver side works, well, probably works. Flash to pass, who needs them? Well, I would like one. Anyways, it is time to visit the whiteboard. And honestly, a lot was done. So we found in OEM bumper, installed it. Also, I did not install or screw in the tabs at the bottom. Yeah, they were not lining up. That's besides the point though. So installed it, found the bumper, need to sell a wide body kit now. So we got close doing this. I'm just gonna like half fill it, if that makes sense. All right, need passenger. And then flash to pass, halfway. Need passenger. Side markers. Actually got both of them installed. Other side's also installed now. But man, besides that, that's a dub. Also removed the front bumper as well, obviously. So that's super sick. I think next up is going to be taillights, a third brake light, and then a hatch lock cylinder, as I have a package coming tomorrow. And then I'll hold off on headliner until probably after that, honestly. But I think that's it for now. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you in the next video.